not always about your job role. It's about you as an individual.
Young people do that because they want to see how far their social is willing to go.
We have to help these young people prepare for real life.
You know what? There's more to us than just kicking a football and just rapping. Yeah. As a black man, I can be educated. What are you saying, people? We're back for another episode of The Social Worker and the Mentor. Listen, you know what? This, for me, I'm going to enjoy this one. Guys, you know what's coming, innit? Agency versus permanent.
Ooh,
yeah, literally.
That's a
hot topic, yeah.
That's a
now,
hot one.
So which one of you does agency?
We both do it.
You both do it.
But obviously, my guy to the right, he takes more of a lead on perm because obviously it's such a, a hot topic.
All right. Now, do you know what? You know I'm happy? Because me and you spoke about it briefly in our episode like a year ago. But actually, it's good to have an agency. Yeah. All right. The pros and the cons. I want to know. I know what it is, but pros and cons.
Okay.
Like I said, and let's keep it 100. The pros and the cons.
Because because I'm going to say how I feel, right? Yeah. Which is Nana doesn't always agree with me, but I'm looking at it from a different angle.
But you can talk as an education professional, though. I can talk so. But pros and cons.
Okay, so the pros for permanent, first of all, stability.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want more longevity, obviously in a role and guaranteed with, obviously compared to agency, obviously it's in the word, it's temporary. Okay. That's what I would say on that one.
Lovely. And I think with perm as well, you get a little bit more support in terms of your training and development. Yeah. When you're there longer term. Yeah. You know, if there's any changes into legislation, they may be able to sort of support you with your training around that. So that's what it gives you a little bit more of when you're permanent as such.
All right, go on, because I know you got a lot to say about it.
Go on.
No, okay, all right. So,
because me and you always clash on this, innit?
No, all right, I'll tell you what it is.
I've done both, innit? So I can, but go on, man.
All right, I'll tell you what it is. Like, guys, we have to be honest now, right? Yeah. The world's in a bit of a crappy space right now, right? Yeah. All right. We know people are struggling. Let's just keep it real, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got teachers, nurses, doctors, social workers. They're getting food banks. Yeah. Right. Times are hard.
No, it's true. Yeah? It's true.
And another thing is, we're in a line of work where you can't shortchange. Yeah, it's a very specialized sort of work where you can't shortchange or cheat, right? Yeah, you've got to be on point on every angle of the rectangle. It's the saying that I've got every angle of the rectangle. Right? Yeah. Now, with the cost of living, you know, one will say, okay, I want a long-term placement. Might be, I don't know, let's say 6 months. Okay, right? Yeah, and in that 6 months, it will give me enough time to maybe find something with a bit more pay, right? So she's on a permanent now. She's thinking, right, do you know what? I could get £20 more if I bounce and go to
different organisation.
Yeah, everything, right? Yeah. What's your view? What's your point of view in that? Like, because as I said before, money. Yeah, is money always is a higher wage always the answer in terms of structure or longevity?
Personal preference.
Because as I said before, because I think for me, where I'm coming from, as I said to Nana, is the cost of living nowadays.
Yeah, and you're right.
Because you have to remember, people are struggling out here, you know. They're really struggling. So,
but go on.
I think it, obviously, like what Nana said, I think it just depends on the individual. Everybody's sort of journey, what everybody's sort of going through behind closed doors is completely different. And with, obviously, from the permanent side of things, obviously, I promote, obviously, the stability, but also in terms of your managers obviously are permanent as well. Obviously, sometimes in agency roles, your managers might be temporary, so dynamics can change in that as well. So you've got the sort of workforce behind you, so you know in terms of who's what. These people are going to be there. Obviously, they're going to have longer notice periods to sort of leave and that as well. But also in terms of where you've got the permanent benefits. Obviously, agency might not have the permanent benefits that permanent members of staff would get.
Maternity leave.
Do you know what I mean? So which is
that's a big thing, bruv. It's a big thing, bruv. Yeah. You can't just go over it.
And if you're someone who's obviously looking to start a family or something like that, you got to take them things into
consideration
and whatnot. But then also in terms of where, if you want that flexibility, then I would say in terms of where maybe obviously Locum could be sort of your best route. If you want short-term contracts, you might want to take regular holidays across a period of time to go from contract to contract and whatnot. But if you're someone who's trying to get on the ladder to get a property, permanent is going to be your best route.
Or you could be relocating. You know, I always think when you're relocating to a new area, sometimes some people just want to try a different local authority, and then if they don't feel settled there, they can try another one. It's not always a case of financials. It's I think it's something else that could be like, okay, move to a new area. new team I want to try.
That's how I was.
That's how things. And I think for us, when we're talking to our candidates, it's all about finding out what's important to them.
It's what you said in the early episode.
Oh, it's massive. It's
massive.
important to them.
Yeah.
And if they go on about financials, then obviously we're going to sort of say, all right, you know, is that it?
Is it your main?
Because you could be burnt out within 2 weeks.
And
then what? Is the money worth it? I don't know.
And you'll keep on chasing that.
Because also one of the things also where I've got to be balanced is that, and I say to a lot of social workers that, because I've done both permanent and agency. What I say to social workers is that if you've just come out and you've qualified and you want to go locum, I would say to you, don't, because you haven't got that experience. Be on locum, as you said, the money might be good, but you're gonna get complex cases, and you will sink.
But you know,
you will sink, bro.
You will sink. But this is what I've noticed, and this is where maybe just me being an advocate for the students. Okay, right? Yeah, we've done a lot of
universities,
quite a few universities, and I see a lot of young females. And I see a lot of young females that are mothers. So once again, I suppose this is me coming from the
maternal kind of side.
They've got a child and they've got to support that child, and maybe the bills are tight, and they might not be with the child's father, whatever, whatnot. So I'm coming from that point of view. So Nana's absolutely right. But then I'm just thinking, well, do you know, you can't judge them if they're gonna go for that money where they need the money to support them. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I hear you. But okay, sorry, man. But this is where I agree with you. But I've got to be a bit balanced because yes, financially you might be struggling.
Yeah, because I'm agreeing.
But at the same time, you have to be prepared if you are going down that locum route. If you are gonna do it, just know the kind of cases you're gonna get, you haven't got experience.
It's a lot of lone work in that time. I think at the same time, you know what people got. You're going to be exposed to a lot of things where you'll be making decisions that are, wow, what can I say? You know, they can make and break you as such. You know, and you remember, I always say to candidates, do the reasonable thing. You know, your registration, you know, it could be at stake if you make the wrong decision. So be prepared to.
Don't say that again.
I say your registration could be at stake. So make sure that, you know, every decision you make is done reasonable. You seek support all the time, and you feel empowered by your managers that you're doing the right thing. Always 100%. Ask questions. But agency is a little bit more alone working, and that's where us as agency, we try and look after your well-being as much as we can. We support you. We always say that if you are stressed, are you speaking to the right people? But again, the benefits are, you know, potentially you can, you know, move up the ladder a little bit quicker. You get to try different teams. A lot of the times when you're perm, and you might not have the flexibility to try different teams as often.
Go for a panel,
you have to go for all of this and wait. When you're agency, you know, if you're experienced, you can go into more senior level roles, or you can find different teams a lot quicker, and your long-term stay in social work is better.
And you know what? For me, no one tells the students, or no one tells them. Can I be honest with you, right? There was a time I couldn't take social workers, you know. They told you, right? This is professionally, by the way, right?
He always says this, bro, all the time. No, but it's true, though. It's true.
This is professionally, right?
Yeah, I know.
But one thing I began to notice as a social worker culture, right? You know, there's a particular ethos and way of doing things and thinking and behaving and conducting yourself, you know, in the actual sector, right? And it's almost like you can. If you're a social worker, you can go to youth offending, you can go to a charity, you can go to educate, but no one tells them that.
But that's what we're there for, and that's what we say to them, because obviously the thing is, people like to follow other people, and obviously, like, if you got a good friend that qualified it maybe a year or two before, and they're obviously in this amount, come here, and whatnot, and then people just be like, I'm gonna go there, but everybody's career path different.
Exactly.
And you got to understand that it's gonna be different. Some people know people, they can get themselves.
You need to run that mic again, boy.
But they need to know that everybody's career path is different.
There you go, exactly.
And you can't measure yourself. Like I said, it's not about how quickly you can get there. It's about as long as you get there in the end. And the thing is, obviously, in terms of, for us, we say that for newly qualified social workers that are just coming into sort of social care and all that, they've got their PIN and whatnot. We offer them in terms of, obviously, we've got the family support worker roles, we've got obviously personal advisor roles in leaving care service.
There's so many avenues, I would say, that if you're not ready for social work, there's other avenues where you can still utilise your social work skills that you've you've learned, you know, as a way to kind of slowly get your experience into direct working.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's one thing being in the classroom and there's one thing being out there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, a lot of people think I could just take what I got in the classroom and go out there and start doing what I do. No, it's different. So there's always a different pathway for
No, sorry, bro. Sorry, innit? Sorry, go on, man.
Well, what do you say? Once you're in there, regardless if it's an unqualified or qualified, you're in there and all that. You can network. Yeah. Like you can speak to managers and say, look, when is there? So if you're newly qualified trying to get your ASYE, be like, okay, I'm doing a family support worker role, an unqualified role, and adults. Say, look, is there any positions coming up? They may approach you and say, look, you're doing so well and all that. You're ready now and whatnot. It's now just obviously getting yourself in that position to get to that next step.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. But listen, that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You heard it first.
Quick in and out.
Yes.
That's how I was bugging you like that, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, who you think I'm trying to be? No, man can see the time of thing, bro. Yeah.
I just want to say today, we've immensely appreciated you.
No, we have. No, thank you.
I've learned a lot myself as well.
Yeah.
And please just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I love your passion. I love the professionalism. I like how you conduct yourself. And any way we can help. This right now, this is a new friendship, right? This we're going to do many projects together, and any way that we can help you and vice versa.
No, and thank you for coming on. Like I said, you're the first recruitment agency to come on. We haven't had this in our 2 years of being podcasters. So thank you for coming on.
And another thing as well, we're very big advocates for students, right? Yeah. So I think, you know, this is going to be a really critical, you know,
it's a topic for them. You know, it's a real big topic for them.
We can give that advice
because at the end of the day, I think once they, as we quickly allude on this, that you know, once you finish university, you know, you can be left in limbo.
Yeah.
And again, we're here just to provide a little bit of guidance. You know, the pathway if you want to get into, you know, social work, ASYE, if you want to, you know what I mean, many options. So just reach out to us.
And even if it's like simple things, even if we can't exactly sort of help you right now, and we'll tell you in terms of what you can do and what the options are and stuff. And it's about, we're there for you guys. So don't be afraid. Like I said, we're here. Give us a call on the number, send obviously the emails. We're on socials. So
So you heard it, guys.
Heard it, guys,
right? Like, subscribe. You know the thing already, right?
Supply Solutions. Thank you very much.
That's it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.